Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Flips characters on their heads, and we're starting to think Konstantin may be taken down by, spoiler, this week on Days of Our Lives. It felt like we got a lot of characters talking about faces and plot points that were out of the blue. A few improves were, others the more terrible, and some were tremendously confounding as characters took jumps of derivation, turned on one another and connected with scarcely any advance notice. The good to begin, the good. I realize not every person might concur with me, yet I'm ending up loving Sloane increasingly more once more, particularly after her, however Melendea. Children are hard. I don't need 18 years of this. Days a irritated-looking Sloane is in her apartment between Leo and Eric talking. Sponsored links. Doctor, your hair will develop like insane, attempt this evening. Thicker develop. See, certain individuals aren't removed or prepared to be guardians, and that is okay, inasmuch as they don't turn out to be guardians. It made me insane that the show at any point imagined Sloane would take to parenthood, particularly with her thought processes originating from a frantic forlornness. Presently, after all that cooing and frantic snatches for a child, Sloane simply needs to get it on with her studly hubby just to acknowledge she doesn't get to play by her own principles any longer. It seems like an unexpected turn for her, however there were a few clues that she didn't have a lot of persistence or presence of mind with regards to life as a parent, particularly abandoning Jude in the Horton Square, yet it's one I completely support, since it's a turnaround to her personality. Perhaps sometime she will be prepared to be a mother, yet her becoming child insane with Eric never felt procured. Whether that implies she will surrender Jude, however, that is another matter. The not ideal. Does anybody have a valid justification for why Xander hurried, all things considered, with 2 in the middle between, to defy EJ about last Friday's strange call? And afterward he raised the way that EJ had recruited somebody to kill Ava, without referencing that he likewise employed somebody to kill Xander, after Xander would not kill Ava. The entire incident happened out of nowhere. In the DiMera lobby, Xander scowls at Stefan. So did Chad, going crazy at Johnny for needing to get hitched and exposing one more lady to their family on the grounds that Chanel has no organization of her own? Quiet down, Chad. He wasn't worried about Stephanie's safety when he broke up with her. He did it since he was envious of Everett. What's more, presently Johnny should be distant from everyone else until the end of his life since he's a DiMera. Gabi's in prison since she's been basically as mischievous and determined as a DiMera, not on the grounds that she wedded one. She only offended the wrong person. Furthermore, Nicole's concerns don't have anything to do with being hitched to EJ. Look, if being a DiMera means that Chanel and Johnny get a little bit of drama at some point, I'm all for it. Also, by show, I mean more than Stefan and Chad being jerks when he takes a stab at sharing the blissful news. Wearing robes on her love seat, Stefan and Ava's separated lips are near contacting. His arm encircles her waist. More, Brandon Barish stands up on reevaluating Gabi. Also, concerning Stefan, he and Ava blew my mind with their energy bubbling over. They were going this way, and we all knew it. There must be struggle for when Gabi unavoidably returns. However, it seems like they went from zero to reenacting a romance book out of nowhere this week. The sexual strain was packed in quick, it actually must be assisted with liberal dosages of liquor to speed it up. The mixed bag at the very least, Stephanie and Everett have been getting closer and closer, so I think they're going to sleep together. He's been endeavoring to do everything spot on with her. Excessively hard. We've all got our eyes on you, Everett. However, I'm a piece frustrated that we haven't gotten much else after he spotted Jada last week. Days Lucas sits in a seat in his protected room as Chad and Everett interview him from the edge of the bed. Lucas, you're secluded from everything, so you contact the paper to spread your story to everybody? Brilliant. For what reason is this man permitted his own telephone? He is technically still being held? What's more, in a protected house? What's more, Chad brought Everett along, which just seemed like such a terrible move. Of course, I get it was unavoidable since he's the main real essayist you need to recount the story. Chad simply possesses the paper and keeps an eye on every one of the meetings. I felt like Everett was searching for data about what Lucas knew, which, while it is his work, felt a touch more vile than simply a columnist getting the story. Perhaps I'm adding a lot to it, or I'm beginning to get involved with the fan hypothesis that Everett's stirred up in the medication ring as well. But I don't believe in him. The hopeful it has been odd, but fine, to treat Xander and Sarah as if they are just getting to know each other these past few weeks, despite the fact that they have been married and lived together. Yet, I feel like I missed a couple of episodes with Xander and Konstantin. Xander has been suspicious, but Konstantin and Xander are suddenly so hostile from their past, which Konstantin claims is just because he knows Xander's reputation in Greece, that they won't even be in the same room. What? Days Sarah and Xander sitting across the table from Maggie as she tastes water and Konstantin, grinning at Maggie. More, who truly called Xander? As Lori referenced last week, moving Konstantin away from going after Maggie has been a welcome help. Yet, the pawn and fix secret dialed back a great deal this week, except if you're into watching John meander around looking grizzled and stunned. However, we ought to get once again into it on Monday when Konstantin and John have their little talk. All things considered, for this present week we return to his Maggie con somewhat more, which super caused me to wince at how neglectful Maggie is notwithstanding everybody and everything. Or is she? I adored when she advised Konstantin to quiet down or get out at Zara's and his mumbling to himself in the lobby, these individuals. This town was a tomfoolery contact. It's like Konstantin is believing that he came to Salem for a simple con and payday, yet the town is crazy as is practically everybody in it. He might be beginning to realize that he ate more than he could chew. What's more, I'm trusting that ties into Maggie's extremely guided demand a few times toward Xander and Sarah. I can deal with Konstantin. Konstantin confronts a confused Maggie and makes a passionate argument. Anyway, would she say she is playing him? Might it be said that she is dropping easily overlooked details unintentionally, like suggesting he might be around in her life for quite a while, tricking him in mirror, giving him a few breadcrumbs to lead him on until he goofs or uncovers what he's been stowing away and she can snap the snare close and make him pay? The con is as yet goading in each scene with her, yet assuming Maggie's been conning him the entire time, I'm into to the point that. Stray contemplations. A human Teresa? I'm loving this significantly more than the gold-digging rendition. Indeed, her romanticizing herself and Brady just for him to delicately bring up that they were a wreck was somewhat sweet. Days Brady hangs over Teresa's work area, taking a gander at her as she gazes nicely at her PC screen. More, Eric Martsolf becomes genuinely about Brady's genuine affection. Konstantin has conversed with Xander how frequently, and he was astonished to gain he's from Scotland? Facepalm. Where did Ava's Wendy aggression come from? Although it was just one more unexpected plot point, I appreciated Wendy standing her ground. God almighty, Eric, get it together. He recently had that ridiculous smile all over the whole time Leo was dropping pointed remarks about the child, Sloane and Melinda.